So photosynthesis can take place only in plants, and photosynthesis can take only in daytime, and respiration can take place in plant and animals both, and respiration can take place both in day and night, and every wherever it want. Respiration can takes place whenever it want and wherever it want. It can take place in plants and animals and in day and night, all over the day. Now there are 3 steps of photosynthesis, and it is not so important that they have to go one by one. So the first step is absorption of light by chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a green color pigment which absorbs sunlight, and it converts sunlight into chemical energy or chemical energy. First step. Okay, now remember that it is not so important that this is if uh, today's connection is very much weak. So chlorophyll absorbs light and utilize this light. Chlorophyll absorbs light and utilize this light to break down this water molecule into hydrogen and oxygen, and in next step this hydrogen is utilized or added with this carbon dioxide to form this sugar molecule. So these are 3 main steps of photosynthesis. It is not so important that they should go one by one or this is the first step and it should occur always first. So they are random steps, and there is no necessity that this should be go first or this should be go second. So these are 3 steps basically, and you have to learn, and they can occur in random way. Now next is this process is known as reduction. This broken down hydrogen is added with this carbon dioxide and it will form this, and this is known as reduction. So we can say that carbon dioxide is reduced. These are 3 steps. Next we studied that whatever plant produce, plant first food product of plant is known as glucose. So glucose is primary plant food product, primary product, and this primary product is stored by plant for themselves in the form of starch. So during photosynthesis, plants goes through all these reactions, and finally when they produce glucose, they will convert glucose into fat, protein and carbohydrate for our use, for use of animals, and they store a required amount of sugar or glucose in form of starch, and they can utilize starch later on or whenever they want. Also we can use this starch. There is no foundation that we cannot use plant made starch. We can use this starch, but plant only depends on starch. They cannot use glucose as their food material, or they cannot use fat, they cannot use protein, they cannot use carbohydrate for their food material. They can only use starch, and which was prepared by glucose, and glucose formed by the reaction of photosynthesis. And how glucose formed? This broken down water molecule, this water molecule can be broken down if only there is sun energy present. This energy is utilized to break down this water molecule, and this broken down hydrogen is added with this carbon dioxide, and after that this carbon dioxide and this hydrogen form glucose, and this oxygen will go out in the form of gas. So this is the reaction of photosynthesis. This is the reaction of photosynthesis. You have to learn this. Okay, broken down, it hydrogen goes with this, so it is known as reduction, and it will finally form this is sugar, this is known as glucose. Plant store glucose for themselves in the form of starch, and this remaining oxygen will go out in the form of oxygen, and whatever left, it will produce hydrogen. Whatever is remaining, it will convert to water. Okay, these 3 steps we studied. Now we are going to start with stomata. Okay, And yeah, there is one more thing I want to tell you, that those three steps what we have studied: absorption of chlorophyll, broken down of breaking of water molecule, and addition of hydrogen molecule with this carbon molecule. Okay, addition of this hydrogen with this carbon molecule, or breaking down of this water molecule, or taking of sun energy, all these three steps are important steps of photosynthesis, but these steps not take place one after another. You have to remember this. You have to remember these three steps, and the product which is made by plant, glucose is converted to starch. This is okay, but it is not so important that this should be first and this should be second and this should be third. No, they can go according to uh, their comfortable zone. What is comfortable for plant, and what is good for plant, and what is the requirement of plant, where plant grows, or if there is availability of water or not, or if there is availability of sunlight or not. So it is these steps are random. It is not so important that this should be first, or this should be second, or this should be third. So let's take an example. We are taking example of desert plant. Okay, what are desert plant? We know that uh, some cactus are desert plant, and some trees like khejri, they are desert plant. Okay, they grow in desert. So this desert plant take up carbon dioxide at night and prepare an intermediate which is acted upon by energy absorbed by chlorophyll during day. Okay, what they do first? First they don't absorb sun energy. Okay, they don't absorb sun energy. What they do firstly, they absorb carbon dioxide first. Okay, what is the reaction of photosynthesis? Carbon dioxide, water. We know that these two things are raw material, and plant absorb this raw material directly from environment, and absorb them in the by in the this reaction takes place in the presence of sunlight. So what occurs with desert plant? We know that in desert there is a huge amount of sunlight all day, and or we can say sun energy. Okay, so we know that in desert areas there is a huge amount of sun energy all over the daytime. So what the plant do? We studied that first plant absorbs sun energy, but as we studied, or as I told you, that it is not so important that these reactions should go one by one. They are random. Any reaction can takes place before any another one. Okay, this can takes place before this one, third one can takes place before second one, or second one can takes place before first. Okay, so there is not something that first of all it have to absorb light energy. No. So in desert plant, first of all the plant absorbs CO2. We know that carbon dioxide is a raw product and water is raw product. They plant absorb carbon dioxide from atmosphere with the help of a aperture or hole which is known as stomata. Stomata are apertures of plant or holes. Okay, so first plant absorb carbon dioxide. Okay, desert plant, they don't absorb sunlight. So desert plant absorb carbon dioxide at night time. What is the reason that they are absorbing carbon dioxide during night time? And desert plant starts their photosynthesis during desert plant. This is very important thing, that desert plant starts their photosynthesis during night time. Okay, why so? Look at this. This is a leaf, and this leaf is having very small aperture. You can see small holes. These are the small holes. You can see. Okay, these are small holes. So this is a leaf, and this leaf is having very tiny apertures. We cannot see these apertures with naked eyes or holes, and these holes are known as stomata. Okay, now I'm talking about a desert plant. All plants, this you can see this hole, this is small aperture, this is small aperture, you can see this is small aperture. So these small apertures are known as stomata. Each and every plant leaf have stomata. Now we are talking about desert plant. In desert plant, what happened that desert plant generally they suffer from lack of water, or generally they don't have water. The water is always low in desert places. Okay, in desert area, water, the availability of water is always low. So plants open their stomata during night time. Plants open their stomata during night time. So when during night time, when stomata are open, plant takes carbon dioxide during night time. I'm only talking about desert plant. Okay, now what happened in in night time, there is less, or we can say definitely no sunlight. During night time there is no sunlight, so there is no heat. And if there is no heat, there is a there is a less rate of evaporation. What is evaporation? Evaporation is, consider that this is plant, and whenever you give water to it, all the water goes away into atmosphere, and plant will need water again. And when the water will amount of water will reduce or will go down, the plant will dry. We know about this. Okay, so this is known as evaporation. Plant releases a huge amount of water from these pores. From these pores, okay, these pores, plant remove huge amount of water molecule from these pores known as stomata. Now what happens in desert plants? There we know that during daytime, in desert plants during daytime, there is a huge amount of, in daytime there is huge amount of sunlight. Okay, now if stomata opens, okay, now stomata opens, if stomata open during daytime to receive CO2, because in the reaction of photosynthesis, plants need carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is taken by atmosphere. Now suppose this is daytime and plant or desert plant, I'm talking about desert plant. Okay, so plant is opening its stomata to receive carbon dioxide. Now what will happen simultaneously in desert plant? Plant knows that we are having very less amount of water, because we are in desert condition. And if they open their stomata during daytime when sunlight is high and when there is high amount of heat, as soon as they open their stomata, definitely they will receive carbon dioxide. Definitely they will receive carbon dioxide. As soon as they open their stomata, they will receive carbon dioxide. But same time they will release their water molecule, because as soon as this stomata will open, as soon as this stomata will open, they will receive carbon dioxide inside, definitely from atmosphere. They will receive carbon dioxide, definitely. But same time as the stomata is open, they can release, or surely they will release water molecule outside. Now they are getting CO2, but same time they are releasing water. And desert plants are, we know that in desert climate it is difficult to find water for plants, because the soil, or whatever the climate conditions, they are very poor in the sense of having water. So plant will release it water, and if plant open stomata to get carbon dioxide during daytime, each and every time when it's open their stomata, they will lose water. So there will be a great and huge loss of water, because desert plant, for desert plant it is very difficult to have water whenever they want. Okay, so desert plant never opens their stomata in daytime. Desert plant open their stomata in night time. What happen in night time? There is no sunlight. There is no sunlight finally. And if there is no sunlight, if they open their stomata in night time, so there is no sunlight and there is no heat during night time, or I can say comparatively less heat if we compare it with daytime. So if there is no sunlight, there is no heat or less heat, and when they open their stomata, they can get CO2, but they cannot remove water, because we know that removal of water is totally dependent on evaporation. And we studied in ninth class that evaporation depends on heat. So if there is less heat, there is no evaporation, and desert plant will not remove its water in night time, and it can get carbon dioxide. So during night time we can say stomata is open. During night time stomata is open. It can take carbon dioxide, okay, but it will not remove it water, because it is night. There is no sun energy, and there is very less loss of water, because if there is no sun energy, there is no heat. Okay, so that's why desert plant take up carbon dioxide at night. Why do they take carbon dioxide at night? To come over from the problem of evaporation, because if they would take carbon dioxide during daytime, there are higher chances that due to heat they can lose their water. But if they take, or they open, because if they want to take carbon dioxide, they need to open their stomata. Okay, whatever they take carbon dioxide and water. They take water from roots, but for carbon dioxide they need to open their stomata, which are known as pores. So that's why they developed a new technique, and they open their stomata at night time. So if they open their stomata at night time, they will never lose their water. Okay, because night is comparatively less heated. And after taking carbon dioxide in night time, they prepare something. Okay, and whenever they prepare something in, again, this plant, they take carbon dioxide during night. Now first step is done. Now there is no need to open stomata. There is no need to open stomata. So they took carbon dioxide. They took carbon dioxide, and now they will form something which is exactly not glucose, but they produce something, okay, which is known as intermediate. This is not glucose. Glucose will form after they will absorb energy, but definitely they have completed their one task, that they don't need to open the stomata in daytime and to absorb carbon dioxide. So they have completed their one task. So one thing uh, takes place. Okay, so first they and finally they absorbed it and produce some intermediate. Okay, after that, during daytime, during daytime, they will use this intermediate. Okay, now during daytime they absorb sun energy, and they will use this intermediate with this sun energy. Okay, now they have developed some intermediate, which is definitely not glucose, but now they will use this intermediate, and with the help of sun energy they will produce glucose. Okay, now the absorption of sun energy is a second process. It is not first one like this. Absorption of sun energy by chlorophyll is definitely not a first process. It is second, third, or another processes, but definitely we cannot say that this is first process which is used by each and every plant or desert plant. It is dependent totally on plants, that where they are grown, or availability of water, or what is weather. Okay, so the first step is absorption of carbon dioxide, and the second step is absorption of sunlight when there is daytime. So in desert plants, the climate is very bad here. So this is definitely, I told you that these three steps should not go one by one. Plant use these steps according to whatever is suitable for them. It is not a clear cut, we can say, numbering of steps should be go by one, or plant have to use this first and after that it have to use this. No, plant use these steps. Definitely these 3 steps made photosynthesis complete, and also plant reserve some glucose in the form of starch, definitely, but it is not so important that plant will go by this is like this is one first and this one is second. Okay, so this is totally dependent on plant. And this question could be asked that why desert plant take carbon dioxide in night time despite of daytime. So you can now you can give answer that if they open their stomata during daytime to catch carbon dioxide during daytime, they will release water same time. And for desert plant, water is a big deal. They cannot have whatever whenever they want. Okay, after doing this, they form something which is known as intermediate. They produce something which is intermediate. This is not glucose, because for preparing a food, we know that each and every type of food production needs energy. So they produce some intermediate, and stomata will remain closed on another day, and they will absorb sun energy. But they can absorb sun energy either the stomata is open or closed, but for sun energy they only need one thing, that is sunlight. So I will revise you again. Desert plant use carbon dioxide in night time because for absorption of carbon dioxide it is important to open stomata, open this hole. And whenever this stomata is open, they get carbon dioxide. But during night time, heat is less because there is no sun energy, so they cannot absorb sun energy during night time, but they absorb carbon dioxide, and they don't lose any amount of carbon water. They don't lose any amount of water. And after that, by taking carbon dioxide, they will form some intermediate. And again, when there is day, stomata remains closed because stomata opens only to take carbon dioxide. Otherwise, sun energy can be taken inside without opening of stomata. So during daytime, stomata remain closed and they absorb sun energy during daytime, and they use this sun energy with this intermediate to produce glucose, which is primary plant product. Okay, now remember 2 things, that absorption of carbon dioxide or release of water, what is getting exchanged, carbon dioxide, water or oxygen. Okay, these things, whatever, like carbon dioxide, water and oxygen, the exchange of these 3 things, taking inside or removing outside, needs help of stomata, because these 3 gases are having molecules, and going inside or coming outside needs some hole. Okay, when something is going inside and coming outside, it needs hole. So this hole is known as stomata. So these gases cannot do anything without help of stomata. So for going inside or coming outside, they need stomata, which is hole. Okay, so stomata should be open whether something is going inside or outside. But sun energy is very small and tiny thing, that the sun energy doesn't need any type of hole or stomata. If stomata are closed, they are closed, sun energy can go inside. Okay, there is no need of stomata. And same time, the sun energy absorbed by a pigment which is known as chlorophyll. Okay, there is no need of stomata for sun energy. So remember always this thing. The question could be asked that why don't stomata open to remain open while they want to absorb sun energy. So sun energy is very tiny thing. They don't need any hole to come inside. And sun energy is absorbed by chlorophyll. There is no need of stomata to get sun energy. Stomata is relevant with these three gases. Only these three gases. Remember, only these three gases. Okay, these three gases. These are stomata. These are real microscopic picture. Now, this is stomata. Look at this. This aperture. This hole is known as stomata. Okay. Now this is stomata, and you can see these two things here. Okay, this is stomata, this is a hole, and two things are guarding this hole, and these two cells which are guarding these holes are known as guard cell. These are guard cell. These guard cells helps to open and close stomata. This is stomata, this is opening, and it is guarded by two cells which are known as guard cells. Okay. Why there is need of these guard cells? This is a door to a leaf. Okay, now it is not so sure that for desert plant or for each and every plant that they will have water whenever they want. So this stomata should be in control of something, should be in control of these guard cell, so they don't tend to be open whenever they want, and they don't tend to be closed whenever they want. So these stomata are in the control of guard cell. Okay, this the guard cell guides control stomata, that when they have to open and when they have to close. So when there is huge amount of water, huge amount of water, these guard cells swell, these guard cells swell, and water comes into these guard cell via plant, and this guard cell swell, and as they swell, the stomatal aperture open. This stomata opens, and as stomata opens, it can exchange gas. Something go outside, something go inside. Okay, but when there is less water, this guard cell remain shrink like this. Okay, and finally stomata remains closed, and when stomata remains closed, water when stomata remains closed, nothing can go out and nothing can come in. So the opening and closing of guard cell, opening and closing of guard cell, it is totally depend upon availability of water. If water is more, okay, this is guard cells. They are these guard cells are in swollen condition. There is more water. Water go inside these guard cells, and when water go inside these guard cells swell up, and as they swell up, this is the stomata, it will open, and everything it means carbon dioxide, water and oxygen can come inside or go outside. Okay, but if there is no water, then the guard cell looks like they are shrunken, or they are flaccid, or they are loose, and you can see the difference. This is open stomata and this is closed stomata. So the stomata, it is closed and nothing can go outside and nothing can go in. So the opening and closing of stomata is totally dependent on availability of water. This is another same, these are guard cell. You can see that if their water is, they have more water, water will go inside guard cell, and when water go inside guard cell swell, okay, swollen, and they open stomata pore, and anything can go inside and come outside. And when there is no water, guard cells are shrunken, they are in shrink condition, and same time the stomatal opening is closed. So if there is more water, guard cell receive water, guard cell swell, as well as guard cell open stomata. But if there is less water or no water, guard cell don't receive water, guard cell remain shrink, and as guard cell are shrink, they cannot create any pressure on stomata. Now they are here, they are creating pressure on stomata and pulling this aperture, and this is stomata is totally open, and now they are closed, because as they swell they can create a pressure to pull this apart, to pull this aperture or hole apart. They shrink and there is closed stomata. Okay, so opening and closing of stomata depends on guard cell, and opening and closing of guard cell is totally dependent on availability of water. Okay, now plant never do anything. We can say that plant never do anything on random way. Plant gives stomata water. Plant gives water to stomata. Okay, plant gives water to stomata only if want to make stomata open. It is not a random process that guard cell have taken water from somewhere. They have taken water somewhere, and plant don't want to open this stomata, because whenever guard cell receives some water, the stomata will open and it will release water. So whenever plant want to release some water, it allows guard cell to take water. These are guard cells. Okay, and why guard cells are green? Because guard cells are also having chlorophyll. Okay, so it is not random that if plant gives water to guard cells, plant wants to give water to guard cell. Okay, plant have huge amount of water and it wants to lose some water, then it will give water to guard cell, and guard cell open stomata. And if plant has less water, plant never gives water to guard cell, and then stomata remains closed. Okay, so don't think that guard cell can take water inside by themselves. These boundary I'm drawing with this blue color, these are guard cell. Okay, these are real structures of guard cell, and the red thing is known as stomatal aperture. Okay, these are present on surface of leaf. These are all opening stomata. So guard cell cannot take water by themselves, that I want to swell and I want to make stomata open so that I can take water if I want. No, it is definitely, it is not going to happen. Only plant allows guard cell that they can take water, or and only plant allows that if they cannot take water. So guard cell absorb water from plant. Definitely they are from plant. They absorb water from plant. They are present on leaf. They absorb water from plant if plant allows. And after that, guard cells swell, and when as they swell, they create pressure. As they swell, they create pressure on this aperture, and this aperture open, which is known as stomata. Opening of stomata, it can take anything inside, it can remove anything inside. What things are those? First water, second carbon dioxide, and third oxygen. So stomata can exchange water, carbon dioxide, and oxygen. You must have to remember these three things, that what can a stomatal opening or stomatal can aperture exchanged. Now if plant don't want to remove water from itself, okay, now we know that there desert plant have always the scarcity of water, so they never allows this guard cell to swell. They never allow this, and guard cell remain in this truncal condition, and this stomata never open. And whenever the desert plant want to make this stomata open, it is night time. Okay, it is night time. So if this guard cell opens, there is no loss of water at all. There is no loss of water at all, because desert plant Never let their stomata open during daytime. The stomata will open only during night time for desert plants. So if there is night time, they will open, but there is not loss of water. So the opening or closing of stomata is totally dependent on plant. It is all dependent on guard cell, but it is not only the authority of guard cell that they can make this stomata open and they can make this stomata close. It is totally dependent on plant, that if plant allowing them water, they can open. If the plant is not allowing them water, they cannot open. Okay, so this is my today's class. Definitely we suffered from very weak internet connection today, but I cannot do anything. I'm helpless for today's class because internet was very weak. So I'm finishing my class for today, and we will have our next class on Monday for sure. Thank you.